and welcome to the next Nix Hour. So, quick update for March. We have a new time every month, and for March, this will be 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. We can randomize this every month, so different people have time to attend. Yeah, you can check out the Nix Hour post here on Discord that is being updated all the time, as well as the top one up here. Now to decide the topic for the Nix Hour, we use the Nix Hour repository in the Tweak GitHub organization. And for this week, I created this new issue just to talk about various experimental features. There was a previous one asking about some experimental features, and we might be able to take a look at these too. These were C groups and auto-allocate UIDs. But let's talk about experimental features in general. So we have a page here on the Nix manual talking about what are experimental features. So we have right there, considered unstable. They can be changed, removed at any time. You need to explicitly enable them. And yeah. Experimental features introduced in 2.4. And I mean, the most prominent one is flakes. This is here somewhere. I don't think we'll talk much about flakes today. I think everybody knows about that well enough. I think we really want to talk about the various others. I also want to point out that we have a really good page on nix.dev, also official documentation, talking about flakes in general. What are flakes, where they are controversial, should I use flakes, and more links as well. But yeah, let's jump in. And what I want to start with is a VM, just like last time. And I'm going to upload this to the Nix Hour repository as well, so you can check it out yourselves afterwards. We're going to open a shell here, and really, I'm in a VM so I can mess around with the experimental features without triggering anything or messing up my local system. So which one should we take a look at first? Maybe we can go, yeah, also allocate UIDs was asked about before. So let's take a look at it. So what is it? It allows Nix to automatically pick UIDs for builds rather than creating Nix BLD user accounts. See this for details. Okay, we have some more details. There's not a lot of extra details, but I guess let's take a look. So by default, you have certain number of user accounts, and I guess we can take a look at that with passwd, which doesn't actually contain passwords. And yeah, we can see them here. So by default on NixOS, it looks like 23 build users are created. So this means you can't run more than 23 builds at the same time. I'm not sure. Well, maybe let's try reproducing an error. What happens if we have less users available? I think we can go into Nix dot something about build users. Oh, this is a package search. I want to search for options. Here, number of build users. I can't see the default here, so it seems to be that typically indicates it's a kind of more dynamic default rather than a static one. Let's see, can we find a 32 here? Yeah. Okay, so it seems to be dependent on max jobs. That's the number of derivations you can run at the same time. And confusingly, I think oh no, that's fine. So auto, I think that means it uses the same amount as CPUs or something like that. Auto then 0, and then you do a max of that. Okay, but yeah, we're just going to override it here. Oh yeah, 23, 32. German is leaking through. So I have a module here which I can modify. It's empty one, and this is being imported from configuration.nix, which does a lot of default things that we need to get it working at all. So let's set nix.settings nix.number build users equals, let's just do like, actually, how many cores do I have in my VM here? Oh, what was the end proc? I think 4. Okay, let's limit this to 2 and see what happens. VM switch. This is the small rebuild script I use to be able to rebuild within the VM. And so after we rebuild, we're going to try building 3 derivations in parallel and see what happens. Let's see, is there any other details here? UIDs are allocated starting at this one on Linux and this on macOS. Okay. And we have it disabled by default. Well, all experimental features should be disabled by default. Let's wait a second here. Shouldn't take too long. System units, etc. And oh yeah, this is nice. We can see it removed the build users. And by the way, on NixOS, the user UIDs are being persisted in var lib nixos UID map. So in here, even if we now kind of increase the number of build users again, these are all pinned in here. So it won't have to allocate new UIDs, and files that were written with the users and saved that way will continue to be accessible by the user. This isn't very useful for the Nix build users, but it is very useful if you turn off and on a service over time. So let's try this. I'm gonna do a, I guess let's do a my package here. And let's use the call package convention. I'm gonna do, I guess, a run command. Fairly easy. I'm gonna declare 3 here. So we say, well, let's say a run command. I'm gonna do a something like this. And in here, I'm just gonna do a sleep 10. Would be good. And then touch out, so we create an empty file. And then I just duplicate this twice more. And let's try building this. I need to actually declare it. I'll add it to my default.nix. My package equals package dot, or actually, I guess final.call package should be fine here. Package.nix. Okay. And nix build -a my package. You can see how this default.nix works afterwards. Oh yeah, okay, we can see it here, waiting for UID to build. So started A, started B, but it didn't start C. And yeah, so this is kind of annoying if you, like, I mean, I guess by default it's 32, yeah, 32. But if you have like 64 cores, for example, this would be annoying. And you'd have to either increase the number of build users, which feels, I guess I actually don't know quite why this is necessary. I guess it's nicer. And I think there's probably some container UID allocation things that work better with dynamic UIDs. But yeah, we'll try it out. So this is nix.settings.auto-allocate UIDs equals true. Now, I wonder what happens with this one. I guess it shouldn't allocate any anymore if the Nixos module has been adapted to work this way. Let's try it out. I need to optimize this evaluation time here a bit at some point. This is taking too long for not that complicated of a VM configuration. But yeah, that's a problem with Nixos in general. It takes too long to evaluate. All right, and seems to have worked. I don't see anything about changing or removing the existing build users, but let's try it out now. Well, I guess let's check password. Should still have 2 users. Okay. Now, before I rebuild, I'm going to make sure that these actually rebuild. I'm going to do kind of a hack here and just say time equals built-in stuck current time. I guess it doesn't work with flakes, but this is a super easy way to force a rebuild. Like this. I should have parameterized this, but that's fine. Okay, next build-a my package. And I guess it's my packages. It's not just a single one. Oh, I see. So you need to, right, you need to enable the experimental feature as well. You can't enable the option unless you do. All right, let's see if extra experimental features. So Nix configuration has all of these extra dash versions of these of all the parameters which append to the experimental features one. I think this is described somewhere up here. Yeah, here. If you're curious. So we can set experimental features or extra experimental features. I'm going to look at the Nixos module here. Experimental. Let's see if there's anything for that. Doesn't seem to be the case, so I guess we can just use nix.settings. Experimental features equals auto allocate UIDs. And I think that should be good. Let's rebuild like this. And yeah, so when you can't find a setting in here, it's usually done with a settings option, which comes from RFC 42, which is one of my RFCs, a bit older, but it's fairly often used throughout Nix packages. And this is not great. Can I even rebuild now? Doesn't look like it. So it says the feature is disabled. So I guess we could just pass this for now, although this isn't great. What we could do, I guess, is set config nix config. What is it? There's some file that we can use to override these. Here we have nix.conf. This one, I don't think the folder exists yet. Let me create this first. And let's see if we can kind of turn it off here. UIDs equals false. Oh yeah, we can also switch to the previous generation. Does this work? It should work. So switching to the previous generation would look like might actually be fairly easy. Yeah, this works. Let's also try the other way. Let's actually remove this one again. I want this. Switching to the previous one, I think we can do that with nix var nix profiles. Well, we don't have Nixos rebuild in here. I think Nixos rebuild has something. Yeah, I think the rollback would be the way to do it there, or like this. But since we don't have that, we can still just kind of go into here. Oh, no, we can't actually. Right, it doesn't store it anywhere. Okay, maybe let's just do the VM switch here. I don't want to get too sidetracked. Yeah, so this VM switch script here only does, you can see it here, for one it does a build. So this just creates the, well, not the result symlink, I put it in system symlink. Oh, right, I removed the file again. I guess we can use the third method here, passing it via the CLI, although this VM switch script doesn't, oh no, it does support passing arguments, so that sounds good. Let's do it like this then. All right. Is it actually there? I don't think it is there. Well, let's try it. Nix var Nix, oh, completed. Shipping profiles, but yeah, there's no system one here. My script doesn't update that, so we don't have any profiles, in fact. Oh, what? Why? Oh, I see what's happening. What has happened? So it's a daemon level setting, and it's actually this here uses or passes this configuration on the client side, not on the daemon side. Although, why did it? Why did it work up here, or did it work? Yeah, it started building it. Okay, I guess let's do it like this then. Again. Shouldn't have removed it after all. Auto allocate. Oh, I guess I turned it off here. I guess this also shouldn't work. Extra experimental features. Well, I guess we can clear it here, really. Or can we? Let's check it out. Is there a way to include? I don't think there's a, well, I guess this probably clears it. It should, yeah. Well, in switch, I think this should have the exact same effect. You can comment out changes in the config to find the path to the old generation. Yeah, I could do that, yeah. But yeah, okay, we have the same effect. So actually probably the best way to do it if we can't roll back is to actually set auto allocate UIDs equals false. So the feature isn't getting used, and apparently that propagates to the server, to the daemon, but the other one doesn't. Which is kind of curious. Auto allocate UIDs. I don't think there's a good way to find out whether these are daemon settings or client settings or both. Anyways, we finally have it working. I'm going to, well, actually, let me not remove it now. I might need it later. Well, I think it's gonna be fine. Problem for future me. Okay, now finally, next build-a, my package, literally packages, and that works. And maybe let's actually check the UIDs it runs as. So I'm gonna increase this to like 100. 10 is a bit too little time. So my package, now how do we find that out? I guess we could use Nix Top, which is a third-party project. Very hacky, but kind of does the job. So let me do that. Nix Top, run Nix Top. This should be fine. Could have also used Nix run. Oh, this does not seem to work. Oh, I guess that Nix Top might rely on the Nix build group to run the builds. or the Nix build users to detect which ones are Nix builds. So we could use htop, or let's be fancy, let's use btop. Kind of a more fancy way to look at, or a more fancy htop, although I guess user, it's, I don't quite know the shortcuts there, so let's use htop after all. Here, I'm going to press P to remove the path here. Let's use E to get the process tree. And then I'm going to uppercase K, uppercase H to remove these kind of in threads or something. And then I'm going to go to here, and we can see, yeah, we can see the build users here. There's not, right, there's no actual user register to those. Well, I guess it's a user, but not, it doesn't have a username. So that seems to work. That's great. And what about the users? Are they still there? I guess they are. We saw that before. Yeah, these are still there. So I guess there's no NixOS module integration with that feature. Yeah, let's number build users. Let's take a look at that. Oh, Geeks also exists for NixOS. How did I get btop to? I didn't get btop to do that. I used htop here, and I pressed P. P displays or removes the full path of the binaries. Here's a Nix daemon. Is there auto allocate UIDs? Oh, I see. So there is some integration, but we overrode this because we set it with a higher priority. So yeah, we can actually just unset this and not worry about it then. So let's do that. Automatically 0 with auto allocate UIDs. All right. Now that should be good. And I think that about covers this feature. There is a related one. If you go here, C groups allows Nix to execute builds inside C groups. use C groups settings for details. And I believe these kind of tie together where C group, I think, requires auto-allocate UIDs. I'm not sure if that's true, but I guess we can try it out. So removing user, that's good. Yeah, I thought this did require that. Allocate UIDs. Let's actually check the peer real briefly. Just like this. Here's the peer that introduced it. And so I guess this is C groups UID range. Okay, it's UID range, so might not be directly related. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't really know much about C groups, but I think there's also some systemd integration. Let's just check that. Resource, is it resource control? Maybe that's, yeah. Internally, this relies on Linux control groups, C groups. Yeah. So it's a way to kind of restrict how much resources processes can use, how much and which resources. Can I show that? Use C groups. I'm not gonna try. I think let's do something else that I can show a bit better. What is this? Well, let's start from the top. Let's pick an interesting one. Oh, here, experimental ones. CA derivations. Yeah, that would be good to talk about. That's a feature introduced by Theophan prompt week. So, and I haven't really checked that out before. So let's do that. So see content addressed for details. Let's take a read first. So if this attribute is set to true, so this is a derivation attribute, the derivation outputs will be stored in a content addressed location rather than the traditional input addressed one. Also requires setting up hash mode, requires must have the CA derivation system feature. Okay, so let's enable it and then try it out. So this should be CA derivations. Okay, and so system features, I think we covered that in like a Nix Hour, like maybe like a year ago or so. But these are pretty much generic strings that just allow derivations to be more selective about which machines they run on. So for each machine that can build Nix derivations, you can kind of declare a list of strings that it supports. And there is some kind of default ones where I think if dev KVM exists, KVM is a system feature. Included by default if CA derivations feature is enabled. So that's good. We don't have to do anything extra there. But yeah, you can also kind of create your own system features by just picking some string, declaring that in this attribute in the derivation, and declaring it on the machine that it should run on. And then that machine will be picked. Okay, let's switch here. Should have done that before talking about this. Content arrest attribute, let's see, maybe. So output hash mode. Output hash mode, that should be whether it's I think flat or a nar archive. Good hash mode. Yeah, flat is only usable for a single file. Recursive is the other one. Yeah, then it's a nar. Nar is a Nix archive. So that's a Nix specific format for creating a single kind of binary stream from a directory. Okay, let's CA derivation.nix. Let's create another one of these. I guess let's use run command, and we can actually directly compare it like that. So for one, we have a normal one, run command, normal. Let's do it like this, and then just say, let's say we put something in the output, and let's just do hello. Very simple for now. And then CA. Now we're going to set this attribute here, content addressed. Oh, right, I still can't paste between VM and the browser. Equals true. All right, that looks right to me. Close that. Oh, system CTL status for cribs. Yeah, for others. Okay, let's do this. CA derivations. Let's also use final.call package. CA derivations.nix. Oh, well, let's move it. CA derivations. Okay, let's do CA derivations dot. Now let's do normal. But actually, we can see here override derivation. We should use all packages instead, since it's multiple. And if we do that, I believe the override ones should be one level below. Oh, that doesn't exist. Fair enough. We have to use packages.call package. This is something that could be improved on Nextscope to also expose a call packages function. Okay, well, it built. I don't think we have, we don't have override in the override derivation anymore. We do have those on the nested ones, so here ca.override exists now. So yeah, built CA derivations. Let's get these back. Oh, I called them both normal. Let's fix this. CA. All right. Now normal. How can we? Well, so let's check the result. And I mean, should have the same result. Can we actually inspect anything about these? We could check the. Can we check show derivation? Does this work on derivation outputs? It does not. Oh, and we this also is an experimental feature, the Nix command itself. So for now, I'm just going to do this. Does not have a known deriver. That's kind of weird. We built it locally. Nix should know which derivation it came from. What about the other one? Yeah, the other one works. So actually, that kind of sounds like a bug. So normal derivation looks like this. Can we get? I guess we can use an instantiating instead. That gives us the derivation directly. So CA. All right, we get this, and then we can use show derivation on that. I should really enable this one. I'll do that in the next rebuild. Okay, we have, I think this is pretty much the same up here, but we have this here, outputs out hash algo R SHA-256. I think this wasn't there with the other one. Yeah, this one actually says what the path is, whereas this one just says that what the hash algorithm is. And so I guess we can't know the output path from the derivation itself here. Okay, that sounds good. How can we show, I guess let's demonstrate the benefits of CA derivations. And so now, let's say we have a third one, and let's say this is kind of like show contents. And in here, we also do a run command, call this show. And then we say, let's do like a sleep or echo computing ... and just do sleep. All right, and in here we do cat of the CA derivation, and just, yeah, we just output that. Should be good. Next derivation show. Oh, that exists. All right, good to know. So show contents, we are going to show the contents of this here. So that should output hello. Let's do that. CA derivations dot show contents. Do I have a mistake here? I do. Right. CA derivations, it needs to actually be defined or accessible. Let's do a rec. Oftentimes not a recommended pattern. It doesn't stand for recommended, by the way. But we'll just use it for now for simplicity. All right, computing. All right, I should probably put it in out. Yeah, that's a good point. Cat CA, I guess we can just CP out this. That should work. All right, let's try that. Actually, let's make this a bit smaller. Sure, I don't want to wait this long. 3. All right, so you can imagine this is a very expensive derivation. Oh, and we also have this. This is neat. Oh, wait, is that show? No, this is kind of weird. Why does it show that? Well, anyways. Okay, so show, imagine, very expensive thing. But now we change something in here and say that, right, just insert a space here. This shouldn't affect the output of this derivation. And that now should mean that we shouldn't have to rebuild the show contents derivation. So if we try this, instantly done. So CA derivation saved us a rebuild. If we did that with the normal one, let's say normal, and so let's build it the first time. All right, takes a couple seconds. And now let's just add space here like before, and we can see it has to compute it again. So CA derivations allows you to cut off the kind of graph of what needs to be built early if the contents haven't changed. Let's change this back here. I think this is a good demo. And I guess we can even do like this. We can cheat again with the current time. So this has to rebuild every time. Well, almost every time. If we, it says to rebuild up to every second. But the final one shouldn't have to be. So yeah, always building the intermediate one. All right, I think that's, let's also check out this derivation show .ca. Oh, right. Wanted to add that. That does work. All right, nice. It is still weird that it doesn't work with, oh, wait, it works? Oh no, this was the DRV file. That it doesn't work with the non-DRV file. I kind of have expected, well, I guess you can't actually have a backlink. Maybe. I guess it's multiple derivations where it could have come from. Yeah, actually that's a good point. Oh yeah, I mean, that's a good point. If we look at this CA, we get this path 203. And if we change this, well, I guess we have the time in there, so we don't need to change it manually. It's still the same. So, but it's a different derivation here. The derivation has changed. So I guess it kind of makes sense that show derivation for the result here doesn't really give a result, or it could give multiple results. I think even with this, yeah, it gives an attribute set as a result, where each of the derivations could be listed here. Oh yeah, it kind of does sound certificate related. All right, yeah, so that's content addressed. Let's go to another experimental feature. I think this was a good exploration. Let's clean up some things. All right, what else do we have? We have C groups. We decided to skip that. Configurable impure env. What is that? Allows the use of the impure env setting. What is impure env? Oh, I see. This allows you to like set proxy variables, although doesn't this kind of work by default? Impure env, so a list of items, each in the form of name value. If the user is trusted in building a fixed output derivation, environment variables set in this option will be passed to the builder if they are listed in impure env vars. That is kind of weird. Why is this an experimental feature? Because I'm pretty sure Nix packages uses this. Let's check this out. Impure env vars. Oh, I should install that. Anyways, like this, pure env vars. Yeah, so this is kind of used throughout. So I'm not sure why this is marked as experimental. Well, I think there's also impure end vars. Well, let's read this one as well. Impure end vars. Anchor seems to be broken. Oh, I see. So should be passed from the environment of the calling user to the builder. I see. So this by default. Oh, okay, let's try it. I mean that's a good thing to try it out. So impure end vars. Let's try this one. Can we try it out here? My package. Let's create a new one. Let's say impure env.nix. Let's do run command again. Actually, no, we can use run command. And then I'm gonna do run command. Call that impure env. Now we want to set some variables, and here we need something kind of fixed. Echo out, or I guess we can do env to display. Let's not display all the environment variables. Let's just pick them out individually, and then echo hello to out. Okay, and now impure env vars. Well, I guess let's try it out like this. Env vars equals. Okay, I hope this is kind of all uppercase as well, or both are kind of synonymous. So let's just try foo. Okay, and then echo foo. All right, and var foo is this. Okay, now let's try building this. Need to add it. Pure env. Oh. Impure env equals packages.call package impure env.nix. Okay, impure env. See what happens, and it's not set right now. Let's see if that works, and I'm not sure if it does. Foo equals var. Oh, I guess we need to rebuild it, so we can use check for that. Still not set, and I think that's because the daemon runs the build. So I think we can work around this. I don't like this though, but I think if we use sudo to make root executed, which I don't think goes through the daemon, might work. It doesn't seem to work. So for foo is that. Let's read a bit more closely. Takes environment variables from the current builder process. When a daemon is building its environment, its environmental variables are used. Without the daemon, the environment variables come from the environment of next build. Okay, so maybe that was fixed. That sudo also calls a daemon, or maybe it doesn't work for some reason in here. So we would have to modify the daemon environment variables, which we can do. We can probably do something like, so I don't think it's Nix's option. If we go into Nix well, I guess Nix. Settings, registry, extra options, daemon. There's some daemon specific options here. Well, these are, no, not all of these are daemon specific. Yeah, so there's nothing for that. But if we look at the underlying module, so let's go, I mean, really, any of these. Oh no, this is GC module. We want some daemon related one here, next daemon. If you look at this underneath, systemd.services, somewhere this next daemon is declared. And in here we have environment, cfg.envvars. Oh god. Envvars, that actually does exist. Okay, so we can do that. So let's try nix.env equals .foo equals bar. And we also wanted to set the next command. Okay, name switch. All right. So if this didn't work, we could still do like look, well, kind of set the underlying option instead. So we could have done this. Systemd.services.nextDaemon services.nextDaemon dot environment dot foo equals bar. I think this would also work. Yeah. Oh, and we have config networking. Yeah, this is actually kind of related to that. Here, yes, actually the networking proxy envars set with the generic networking option also propagate into here. And that's done exactly for the reasons of the impure envars. But yeah, we don't need this. Let's see if it finished. Yes, it did. Let's try the build again. Impure env, and let's do check. It still doesn't work. Why does it not work? Let's check. We can actually check the environment of the next daemon from htop as well. So let's do that. I'm gonna go to, I guess let me search for next daemon. Here we go. I'm gonna press E. Could not read process environment. We need sudo or root next daemon. I pressed H to hide the, I think these are threads. And E for the environment. And we can see it here, foo equals bar. So that worked. So why did this not work to read the variable? Impure envars foo. Is it that this needs to be uppercase for some reason? Let's print both, I guess. And let's set both in here. Although we only set the lowercase one. Would surprise me if that is actually the thing that we need. Oh, rebuild, okay. Yeah, no, this is definitely not set. Interesting. I'm not root. So, what if we try also setting uppercase foo? I hope that's not it. But I think, I mean, let's just try it briefly. Foo equals 10 echo foo. Yeah, so these are case sensitive. Envars. Let's just check that we have everything that we need. Impure envars. We have impure env. Yeah, impure envars seems to be right. Let's also check. Well, let's switch. Meanwhile, we'll also go into Nix packages, just see if there's anything different about those instances. Oh, and we also wanted to install ripgrep. Let's do that. Let's put it here. System packages. Oh, system packages. Oh, I don't have that at all in here. Default packages. I didn't. Oh, why did I use default packages here? Weird. Anyways, ripgrep. All right, and VM switch. Now let's go into Nix packages and check. Well, I guess I'll do a Nix shell here. We had the previous Nix hour where we talked about kind of automatically getting dependencies, and now I'm not using it here. I should just add that to the default configuration for the VM. All right, impure env vars. Let's just pick any of these, or maybe one that is kind of more used, like fetch URL. Oh yeah, that's indeed fixed up derivations. That's the thing we are missing here. It's mentioned as well. Where is it? Oh, here. Only allowed in fixed output derivations. Well, I guess it should be this attribute only works in fixed output derivations because I didn't get an error. So, yeah, indeed, let's do that. So impure env. Now to make it fixed output derivations, we need output hash, I believe. Let's just empty that for now. Output hash mode. It's a single file, so we can use flat. And let's try this. Impure env. Yeah, run command passes the second argument here to the underlying make derivation call. So you can put anything there that make derivation supports. Empty hash requires explicit hash type. Okay. Type SHA-256. And build. Was that not the right one? Output hash algo. It's algo not. Type algo. All right, we got the right hash, and we can finally see here the environment variables are passed. Okay, I guess let's insert this one so we can build it fully. I guess let's remove one of these. We don't need both. Okay, like this. And let's just check to verify. All right, very good. Now, we haven't used the experimental feature yet. Let's see. I mean, it allows us to use the nix.conf file for specifying these environment variables. Here, configurable impure env. So let's actually remove this. I'm going to remove this one. And I'm going to set configurable impure env. And now, I mean, it's almost the same, I guess. And actually, it's a bit less convenient since we now need to do impure env. And well, let's check what is it's a list of these pairs. So we need to kind of declare it like this. Who equals bar. Okay, or let's say pass, so we know it's changed. Okay, switch. It's actually the kind of integration with the Nexus module is a bit more convenient there. All right, so if the user is trusted. Oh, trusted. Hold on a second. Well, let's only specify the experimental feature, but then let's try it out in the user local config, Nix config. That, I feel like that's probably one of the main use cases, because otherwise you'd have to, well, unprivileged users can't modify the environment variables of the daemon. Whereas, this is maybe very new. Or did I typo? Configurable impure env. It looks right to me. Let me just configurable. Yeah, looks right. Okay, this might be very new then. Let's just check the Nix version here. Nix version. Yeah, to 18. Let's update then. Endpins show. Oh, I don't have endpins here. I should add that by default as well. I can also switch this to system packages. I'm not sure why it was default packages. and pins. And or actually, I guess I'd want Nix derivative. Let me do that. Oh, programs dot derivative dot enable equals true, I believe. Oh yeah, and we can't rebuild while we have that. Okay, by the way, this is kind of neat. There's a, where is it? I guess this one. Yeah, there's a derivation that kind of verifies that the Nix configuration you specified is actually kind of usable by Nix. Oh, I just cancel that. Okay, I believe this should make Nix derivative and derivative work. So I believe if I restart the shell now, this go into here. Yeah, it says blocked. I'm going to allow this. Now we should get endpins in here. All right, this is Nix as unstable. Let's do endpins update. Yes, it's yeah. So that's a good point. The fixed output derivation is required for this because it is an impurity. But by doing the fixed output derivation, you can guarantee that it can't influence anything. Yeah, so that's mostly useful, and we saw that in Nix packages for fetchers because they are always fixed output derivations. They need to fetch something from the internet. But yeah, maybe you want to use a proxy, and then that's a way to influence how you get the connection, but without influencing the hash. Okay, let's just check what the Nix version is now. Do we have packages available here? Not directly. Let's expose it. And you shouldn't have to reload, Darren. Oh, no, it actually does have to because we updated Nix packages, so it has to refetch things. That's fine. Let's make this a bit wider. All right, I hope this doesn't take too long. Although actually, no, it has to. This is kind of unfortunate because we're essentially doing a Nixos upgrade, so it's taking a while. We're almost out of time, so let's do. I guess we can do the beam switch already here, and in the other one, I'm going to try just checking what the Nix version is. I guess we can use Nix REPL here. Packages.nix.version. Oh, it's probably still, yeah, it's 2.18.1. So there's no point in upgrading. There might be Nix versions.unstable, which is higher. Yeah, that would be 2.19.3. But yeah, I think we might not be able to try this out after all. But yeah, so I presume it's possible to, let's actually cancel this. I presume it's possible to declare such environment variables in config nix.conf. And yeah, that would make this a bunch more useful. All right, and yeah, I think let's end it here for now. If you're interested in seeing more experimental features being covered, feel free to comment in this issue or open a new issue, and we might get to that in the future. Now, I also want to mention that I don't want to encourage people to use experimental features all the time. It's good for trying things out, and if you find a bug, you can report it that in the Nix issue tracker. And this way they can actually be stabilized over time by figuring out all the quirks with them. All right, well, that sounds good. Thanks for watching and see you next time.